Yeah. So moving with the first topic, that is the Ramsar site and wetlands. This is very important topic from the Clat perspective. First, we will be trying to understand that what is a wetland and why we are talking about this topic, because on 2nd of February every year World Wetland Day is celebrated, guys. So every year on 2nd of February World Wetland Day is celebrated, and recently it was also celebrated. So this become an important topic for you all. So if we discuss, first of all, let's understand from the what is important to understand is what is a wetland. So wetland is are the ecosystem or such ecosystem which are saturated from all side, as you can see from the diagram. They have the river, they have the coastal water, they have the coral reef, they have the marine area. So what is shown in the diagram, that is a wetland. Now this wetland it is a source of many things. It is a source of tourism, it is a source of culture, then it is a source of food. It provide you raw material. They are the source of the medicine. I hope you must be sitting with your note copy, because you must have to note it down and you have to be fast with my speed. Then the purpose of the wetland is to mitigate the flood. So if we are having the river, if we are having the coral reef surrounding all such thing, then what will happen, guys? Then the flood will be, there will be less chances of flood or the natural disaster or all such thing that happen because of the all such natural disaster will be lessened because of the wetlands. So wetlands are just a ecosystem which is saturated with water, having the river, lake, coral reef. So there is nothing important from this slide to note, but you have to just have a basic knowledge that what is wetland, because we are understanding what is Ramsar sites and wetlands. So we have to know first what is wetland. Moving to the next slide. This is important. All the points from now you have to mention it in your notebook. So make sure you are with my speed. If you face any difficulty, let me know. I will be a little bit slower than what I am now. So first is that why 2nd February is celebrated as World Wetland Day. So first important thing you have to understand that on 2nd of February the World Wetland Day is celebrated. Now the question comes that why 2nd February is celebrated as World Wetland Day? Because on this day the convention on the wetland, that is the Ramsar Convention, was adopted on 2nd February in Ramsar, and Ramsar is a city in Iran. So on 2nd of February 1971, on 2nd of February 1971, the Convention of Wetland, that is the Ramsar Convention, was adopted in 1971 in Ramsar city, that is a city in Iran. As a result of which, every year from then we are celebrating the World Wetlands Day. Now, what is this Ramsar Convention or the Convention of Wetland, guys? It is a framework for the national action and the international cooperation for the conservation of the wetland. So, just we have like the United Nations for the for different states. We have international laws. We have different treaties. We have the Indus Treaty with Pakistan to supply water to the Pakistan region, and then we have various other treaty. We have Vienna Convention. We have Geneva Convention. Can anybody let me know in the chat box that for in the case of Kulbhushan Jadhav, which convention was being used? You can mention it in the chat box. So in the similar manner, we have the Convention on the Wetland, which provide the framework for the national action and international cooperation for the conservation of the world wetlands. And this convention was adopted on 1971 2nd February, as a result of which we celebrate the World Wetland Day every year. Okay, I did not got any response that in the case of Kulbhushan Jadhav, which convention was used. You can Google it, guys. So moving to the next point is that what was the theme of the year 2022? Yeah. Moving to the next point, that is the theme of the this year, that is 2022, is wetland action for people and nature. That is a very important question from Clat or A-Late or other law entrance examination, that what is the theme of World Wetlands Day, that is on 2nd of February 2022. This year theme was wetland action for people and nature. This was the theme. Now what is new about this year, that is 2022 wetland? You have to mark it. Very important, guys. This is very important from Clat perspective. That is, two new Ramsar site has been included in India. One is the Khijada Wildlife Sanctuary, that is in Gujarat, and the other is Bhakire Wildlife Sanctuary, that is in Uttar Pradesh, guys. Taking the total number of wildlife sanctuary in India, wetland in India, that is 49. That we will be discussing what is the total number of wetland in India. But on this year, that is 2nd February 2022, two new Ramsar site has been included from India. That is the Khijada Wildlife Sanctuary, that is Gujarat, and you have the Bhakire Wildlife Sanctuary, that is in Uttar Pradesh. So this is a very important from Clat perspective. You have to know, you have to remember for what are the name of this two new Ramsar site. And then we have the National Wildlife Decadal Change Atlas. You have to understand this. This is a first is what is SAC. SAC is the Space Application Center. It is a component of ISRO. Okay. Can anybody tell me in the chat box what is the full form of ISRO and who is the current chairman of ISRO? So this is the SAC, that is the Space Application Center, has developed the National Wildlife Decadal Change Atlas, having a list of all the Ramsar site of India. Taking into consideration the wildlife sanctuary will be considered here. Yeah, that is Indian Space Research Organization, and who is the current chairman of ISRO? You have to tell me that also. So yeah, very good. So the SAC, that is the Space Application Center, it is a component of ISRO which has developed the National Wildlife Decadal Change Atlas in this year, that is 2022. So guys, World Wetland Day, 2nd February 2022, you have to know that first thing, that why it is celebrated, what is the convention about, the theme of the year 2022, the two new Ramsar sites that has been added this year, and then you have the National Wildlife Decadal Change Atlas. Directly you will be asked in the examination that which of the following is not true about the World Wetland Day 2022. You will be having similar question in the upcoming slide when we will be dealing with the question. So I guess you must have noted this. Moving to the next slide. Let me know if I am going fast. You can tell me. I will be a little bit slow, but we have to manage the speed also, guys. So try to make your notes accordingly. Moving to what all we have to know about the wetlands, that is very important. The first and the foremost thing, guys, you have to know is that United Kingdom has the maximum number of wetland, that is 175, followed by Mexico, that is 142. So you must be thinking that definitely from the Ramsar sites only 5 questions will be asked. So what is the point to remember all this? While we will be dealing with the question in the next half an hour, you will be understanding that why you have to remember every point that is mentioned in this slide. So the first thing that you have to know is the United Kingdom has the maximum. I guess you are writing the notes in a very shortcut way. You don't have to write the whole sentence. Just write in a just write the keyword from the slide. So United Kingdom has the maximum wetland, that is 175, and then you have Mexico at the second position having 142. The largest area is the Bolivia. That is a very important. The largest area of the wetland is under the Bolivia. Now coming to India, as I have told you that in 2022. As I have told you that in 2022, two new Ramsar sites has been added. So if we take that into consideration, now we have the total number of Ramsar sites at 49. This is very important, guys. The total number of Ramsar sites in India is 49, covering 10.93.636 hectares, which is the highest in South Asia. This is a very important question that is generally asked in various law examination and Clat also, that India has the highest number of Ramsar site in the whole of South Asia, guys. That is the 49. How it become 49? After the addition of the two Ramsar sites which we discussed in the previous slides. Now, the total number of type of wetland that India is having is 19, and Gujarat is the state which is having the maximum number of wetlands in India. So those who will be joining GNLU, they can go and watch the wetland in that case. Now, the first Ramsar sites of India was Chilka Lake, that is in Odisha, and for the world you have the Cabot Peninsula, which is in Australia, guys. So every point that is mentioned in the slide is very important. You have to know that which country has the maximum number of wetland, which wetland is the largest area. India has a total number of 49 Ramsar sites. The type of wetland is 19. Gujarat is the state which is having the maximum number of wetland in India. Chilka Lake was the Odisha was the first Ramsar sites in India, and you have the Cabot Peninsula in Australia, which is having the first Ramsar site in the world, guys. I guess you must have noted it. Moving to the next slide. These are just the general question that you will be directly asked in the Clat examination. You don't have to mug up them. You have to just remember that which has the maximum number of how much wetlands are there in India, which has the lowest, which was the first. This whole thing you have to remember. Directly you will be asked in the Clat examination. In what manner, we will be seeing in the next half an hour. Now we come to we discussed that why 2nd February. 2nd February, just check it 1 second, okay. 2nd February, I will be letting you know also. 2nd February is celebrated as World Wetland Day. We got to know what is wetland. We understood. Then we understood that all about the wetland that we have to know. That is that is what we that which country has the maximum number of wetland, how many wetland are there in India. Now moving to the threats to wetland. Okay, so what are the threats to wetland? So according to the intergovernmental science policy platform on biodiversity and ecosystem, they have mentioned that the wetland are the most threatened ecosystem. So we were thinking that the land or the forest was the most threatened ecosystem, but according to intergovernmental science policy platform on biodiversity and ecosystem, they have mentioned that the wetland are the most threatened ecosystem, which are depreciating or disappearing 3 times faster than the forest, guys. For this, because of the threat that the wetland is having, India has two things that you have to remember. First is the National Plan for Conservation of Aquatic Ecosystem, and second is the Wetland Conservation and Management Rule 2017, guys, which is a very recent one. So, in view of the intergovernmental science policy platform on biodiversity, that the wetland are disappearing 3 times faster than the forest, India has two plans for the same. First is the National Plan for Conservation of Aquatic Ecosystem, and the second is the Wetland Conservation and Management Rule 2017. So, directly you will be asked which of the following plan or which of the following is not an plan which is used by India to lessen the threat to wetland. You will be given four options. Two of this, that is the National Plan for Conservation of Aquatic Ecosystem and the Wetland Conservation and Management Rule 2017 will be there, and other two options will be there which the examiner like. You have to select the two which is the correct. Okay, so these are the threat to wetland and what India is having for that threat, that is the National Plan and the Wetland Rule. Okay, moving to the next slide. Now, this is a very important thing, that is the Montreux record, guys. What is the Montreux record? Just we have the United Nations having the details, we have the United Nations Security Council having the details of all the member states. Can anybody tell me in the chat box how many total number of member states are there in the United States according to the latest data? So just every country or even the United Nations Security Council has a list of every state that are registered in it. We have the Montreux record. The Montreux record is the having it is a kind of register which is having the all the wetland sites of international importance, guys. Mark my word. In the Montreux record, you are not having all the wetland sites that are present in the world, but only those wetland sites which are of international importance are mentioned in the Montreux record. Okay, now this is the Montreux record. You can be asked directly that what is the Montreux record. So the Montreux record is a register having the wetland sites of international importance. One is the wetland site. You have in India 49 Ramsar site, wetland site, that is very good, but you have only two wetlands that is of international importance. First is the Kildio National Park, which is in Rajasthan, and then you have the Loktak Lake of Manipur. And you can see, as it is mentioned, that the first Ramsar site of India, that is the Chilika Lake of Odisha, it was there in the Montreux record, but afterward it has been removed. So as of now, in the Montreux record, that means India has only two wetland which is of international importance, guys. That is the Kildio National Park of Rajasthan and Loktak Lake of Manipur. I hope the speed is clear to everybody. Just mention in the chat box that if the speed is okay for everyone. Okay, thank you. So you have to know that what is the Montreux record and what are the two wetlands that India is having. Which one has been removed, guys? That can also be a question for your other law entrance examination or even Clat. That Chilika Lake was the one which has been removed, or they will be giving you the Loktak Lake has been removed, the Kiliodo National Park Rajasthan has been removed, or any other Ramsar site they can be giving you. So we have only two that is of international importance. I guess this is all about moving to just move to the next slide, Ganesh. Yeah, previous slide. So just move to the first slide. So this is all about, we have the about the wetland. What we have to remember for the wetland, first of all we discussed that what is wetland, then we discussed that is 2nd February, what is the importance of 2nd February and what all happened in 2nd February this year 2022. The two new Ramsar sites and the SAC, that is the Space Application Center of ISRO, developed the National Wildlife Decadal Change Atlas. Then moving to the next slide, we discussed all about the wetland. We discussed which country has the maximum number, which state, how many in India, which was the first in the world, which was the first in the India. Moving to the next slide, we discuss the threat to wetland and how India is managing with the National Plan for Conservation of Aquatic Ecosystem, and India has Wetland Conservation and Management Rule 2017 for the threat that is the wetland are facing. And then we finally discuss the Montreux record, which is the register of all the wetland site of international importance, and we have 2 Indian wetland and 1 was removed. This is all about the wetland and Ramsar site that covers your whole Clat, L8, then you have the MSCT, BHU, every syllabus is covered for from the slides. Now moving to another very important issue of the first 15 days of February month is the monetary policy 2022. Apart after the economic survey, union budget, the RBI releases the monetary policy every year. We will be discussing in detail why it is released, what it is. All this we are going to discuss, guys. This is an economic topic, so you have to put your mind very attention. You have to be very attentive, because it is not easy to understand economic, whether it is in current affair, whether it is in logical passage. So economics is something very different what you are reading in the sports, or what we discussed in the previous, that is the Ramsar sites. So you have to be very attentive, understand each and every term very carefully. Moving to the first slide, first understand that what is this monetary policy. Can anybody tell me the who is in the picture? First let's see. The picture showing in the slide is representing whom, and what is his name and what is his post? So guys, what is monetary policy? Monetary policy, guys, is the policy by which the RBI, in consultation with the central government, regulates the regulates the money supply in the market. Now why there is a need for money supply, guys? Understand this point, very important. There is always a need to for the money supply in the market. If the money is not supplied in the market, then the demand of the people will be decreasing, the country will be going in depreciation, the economic growth of the country will lessen, and then you will be seeing that the GDP is decreasing, the GDP is not going according to the target. This all thing will happen. So monetary policy, as the name itself suggests, guys, that monetary means money. So it is the policy through which the central bank is the RBI, as you all know. The central bank regulates the supply of the money. It is very important for the inflow and outflow of money in the market. Market here means India, not the your street market. Here market means the India, that is the industry. The markets, the money should go to the industry. The market should go to the individual. Then the individual will buy. The demand will rise. Then only the economy will continue, guys. So I am telling you, repeating it once again, this is an economic topic, just like the union budget. The what we discussed before, that was Ramsar side, that was a very easy thing. Understanding an economic topic is little bit, you have to be little bit more attentive. So for a good economy to continue, there should be an inflow and outflow of money. Until and unless the people are not earning, people will not be buying. As you must have seen in the pandemic, what has happened, there was accommodative stance. What is accommodative stance, guys? The government and the RBI was trying to give more money in the market, because what happened in the pandemic, the people were not having a source of income. Now when the people are not having a source of income, guys, the people will not be buying anything from the market. If a family was buying 10 kilo of rice a month, they will be buying 5 kilo to maintain their just they would not go hungry. The people definitely in the crisis, in the corona pandemic, from the last 2 years, the middle class family or the below middle class family are not buying new things, whether it is TV, fridge. They are trying to just maintain a simple level of family, just a simple level of living. So what happened, that the people were not buying. Now when the people don't buy, guys, the money will not get infused in the market. Okay, the money will not get infused in the market. If the money is not infused in the market, there is no demand in the market. There is no demand in the market. It will be leading to the lessen of the GDP. There will be depreciation in the market, and everything will going off the track, and there will be no economic growth of the country. So to continue the money supply in the country, in the market, that is India, we have the monetary policy which is released by the RBI, which has been released 3 days before. That is the whole context of money supply. That's why money supply is important, guys. As I have told you, that to continue the economic growth of the country, for the inflow and outflow of the income, it is very important that the money supply continues in the market. I will be later on dealing with accommodative stance. What is accommodative stance? We will be dealing it. So with the various tools, that is the cash reserve ratio, we have the repo rate. What is repo rate? What is cash reserve ratio? We will be discussing in the next slide. By using the repo rate, reverse repo rate, cash reserve ratio, we have statutory liquidity ratio. By using all these tools, the RBI every time try to balance the RBI every time try to balance the money supply in the market. And if there will be no money supply, then every time the depreciation, demand, the economic growth of the country will not go according to the target. So moving to the next slide, guys. First of all, understand what are the objective of the money supply. That is the monetary policy. The first and the most important is the price stability. It is very important that in a country like India, where we are targeting of having a very billion economy, good billion economy by 2030, 2025, 2030, we are keeping a lot of target, but from the last 7 years, but because of the pandemic, definitely there will be some delay in achieving that target of that billion economy by 2030 also. So price stability is very important, guys. If there will be no price stability, the market will goes into depreciation. There will be depreciation in the market. As a result, automatically the growth of economy will reduce. So the second objective is to promote growth of economy. When there will be inflow and outflow of money, when the people will be buying more things, there will be demand in the market, then only there will be a growth of economy, then only the price will remain stable. Stabilization of the exchange rate and the financial system strengthening is very important. So for any country like India or Nepal, Bhutan, this all country to work very properly, when we are a developing country, guys, we are not yet a developed country, we are definitely a developing country. So the financial system of our country needs to be very good. So thousands of times the question are asked from the government, from the finance minister, even from the RBI also, that what ways they are taking or tackling, how they are tackling the pandemic. Because in the pandemic the economic of the country has lessened, it has become very worse. This is a very common thing because of there was no demand in the market. So to strengthen the financial system is one of the objective of monetary policy, because by the monetary policy there will be supply of money in the market. When there will be supply of money in the market, guys, the demand will increase and then the price will be stable. There will be inflow and outflow of money. It should continue. You have to mark this point, very important, that the flow of the money should all the time continue in the market. Here market means India. So these are the, guys, objective of the monetary policy. I know it must be a little bit boring because this is an economic topic, but you have to understand, guys, this is a very important topic for Clat perspective. So bear with me. I also feel bored with the economic topics. Coming to the MPC, that is the Monetary Policy Committee. Make it a point that you are mentioning all this in your notebook. First is what is the MPC, that is the Monetary Policy Committee. It is a framework under the RBI Act 1934. So we have the RBI Act 1934, under which the RBI has been established, guys. In the same, we have the Monetary Policy Committee, which discussed that there will be a Monetary Policy Committee dealing with all the monetary policy of India, having a total of 6 members, guys. This is a very important point from your Clat perspective. You will be directly asked this question. The Monetary Policy Committee, and this is not only for Clat, this you should remember for your whole life, whether you will be giving judiciary, UPSC, SSC, JPSC after your law. That's it not. This is something which you should know always. So the Monetary Policy Committee has a total of 6 members, guys. This is very important. Understand now from here. The 6 members are distributed into 2 groups, where the 3 group is from the RBI, personally from RBI, and the 3 other are appointed by the central government. So definitely whatever the RBI will be doing in this pandemic, or before it was doing, or it will be doing in the next 20 years, it has to do it with the consultation of the central government. That is very important, guys. So in the Monetary Policy Committee, we have 6 members, out of which 3 are from the RBI and 3 are the ones who are appointed by the central government, guys. Now, this Monetary Policy Committee, they have to meet at least 4 times a year, and in every meeting there should be 4 members. That is the quorum. Okay, what is the quorum of Lok Sabha? Can anybody tell me? What is the quorum for Lok Sabha? No, I am asking the quorum, not the total number of member. Quorum is, what is quorum, guys? First of all, let me explain you. Quorum means that that minimum number of member that has to be present. Yeah, very good. The minimum number of member that has to be present for any meeting. When it is the Lok Sabha, it is 1/10. if 1/10 member are not present in the house, guys, then the speaker will adjourn the house, not dissolve the house, will adjourn the house for that day. So it is very important that 1/10 of the member are present in the Lok Sabha. Similarly, when we are having the monetary policy committee, which will be meeting 4 times a year, the quorum here is 4 member. Okay, the number of member that must be present is 4. Now these are very simple points, just keep on mentioning it in your notebook, that the governor is the ex officio chairman, that we have the deputy governor and one officer of the RBI bank which is nominated by the central board. So these three are the people which are from the RBI side, and then we have 3 more people which is appointed by the central government. So they will be from the finance department, finance ministry, or anyone else that will be appointed by the central government on the recommendation of central government by the president. Not going to the constitutional thing, we will be just discussing what is important from MPC. So you have to remember that for the MPC you have a total of 6 member, that is the 4 times a year they have to meet. The quorum is 4 member, 3 that is the governor, one of the deputy governor, and one officer of the bank will be nominated by the central board member of the for this MPC, and 3 are appointed by the central government. Moving to the next slide, we will be talking about some important term, guys, which you have to understand for your lifetime, not only for your CLAT or ALA. First is the repo rate. In the union budget, those who were part of the union budget class, you must remember, repo rate is the rate at which the central bank lends money to the commercial bank. Okay, the commercial banks are the small banks that are located in your locality. Okay, you remember what all bank are in your district, in your state. So to those bank, the central bank, that is the central bank, is the RBI. So RBI lend money to this banks, and the rate at which the money is lent by this bank is the repo rate. The opposite of the same is the reverse repo rate. So sometimes the RBI will also be needing money from the commercial bank. At that time, when the commercial bank will be lending money to the RBI, that rate will be called reverse repo rate. Now you will be thinking that we are a common citizen, अगर अपन लोग जाते हैं बैंक में लोन लेने के लिए, then we have to pay the interest. Why does this bank pay interest? Guys, this is a very simple phenomenon, that everything has to go according to a procedure. ओके, यू डोंट थिंक दैट द सेंटर, अब आरबीआई जो है कमर्शियल बैंक से इंटरेस्ट क्यों लेता है या फिर इंटरेस्ट क्यों देता है. डोंट थिंक ऑल दिस पॉइंट. दिस इज अ प्रोसीड्यूर that the repo rate is the rate at which the central bank for which the money is lent to the commercial bank, and for the reverse repo rate is the commercial bank is lending to RBI. Yeah, that was, I guess, someone has written for the inflation and depreciation. Very good. So there should be no depreciation and inflation in the market. Now we have the marginal standing. Kanish, can you move that part? Stop sharing meat part. And you have stopped sharing. And you have stopped sharing the screen, Kanish. Yeah. You just click on it and you can move it. If it is possible, leave it. So repo rate, and yeah, we have the repo rate and the reverse repo rate, guys. Then we have the marginal standing facility, that is the MSF. So marginal standing facility is where in an emergency situation, when it is an emergency situation, the commercial bank can in a overnight, as you can see the term in the slide, it can borrow from the RBI. So that is for the emergency situation only, that the marginal standing facility is given to the bank, in which in an overnight, in the emergency situation, they can directly borrow from the RBI. One, you have the open market operation, guys. What is repo rate? You have read in the budget, you must have read, you must be knowing already if you are an economics student in 11, 12, whatever it is. Reverse repo rate is the rate at which the commercial bank lend to the RBI. That is okay. Open market operation is very important, guys. So as we know that the reason for the monetary policy is to maintain price stability in the market. There should be a inflow and outflow of money in the market, and that is the supply of the money in the market. For the same, this operation is conducted by the RBI by the purchase and sale of the government supply. So when the RBI think that there should be more money in the market, they sell the government security. When they think that the money supply is okay, we don't need more money supply in the market, that time they will be purchasing the government security. Government securities include the gold and all other thing. You must know that the RBI is having a lot of gold in it. having a lot of gold. Okay, so that is the government security thing. So the operation, that is the sale and the purchase of the government security by the RBI, is the open market operation. That what is the motive for this open market operation, guys? It is the money supply and the flow of the money in the market. When there is need of money, there will be the sale of the government security. When there is more money in the market, that time the government will purchase the RBI will purchase the government securities. To another term that is more important in the next slide is, that is the cash reserve ratio and the statutory liquidity ratio. Cash reserve, as the name suggests, that the specific amount of deposit which every bank need to, I will be explaining at the end, which every bank need to deposit with RBI as a security. As the name suggests, cash reserve, you have to keep some money as the reserve amount as the security. So every commercial bank, every bank has to keep this amount of deposit as security in the RBI, that is the cash reserve ratio. In the similar line, you have the statutory liquidity ratio. What is statutory liquidity ratio, guys? That every financial institution, as it is mentioned, have to maintain a certain quantity of liquidity asset. What it is, understand from an example. For example, if we take someone from the member, if we are having Vaishali Prakash, okay. So if Vaishali deposit 1,000 in the HDFC bank, okay. So out of that 1,000 rupees that Vaishali is depositing in the that 1,000 rupees that Vaishali is depositing in the bank, the HDFC bank will what do? It will be keeping 200 as the cash reserve ratio that we discussed in the previous part, and then it will be taking some as the investing some of the money from that 1,000. For example, this is a very nominal amount I am telling. 100 amount is given in the government security in the form of gold. Okay, so two things it has done. Out of 1,000, 200 has gone as a cash reserve ratio, 100 goes to your liquidity asset, that is the in the form of gold. Now the remaining 700 it will be using to give loan to other people. Now you must be thinking that the people who are getting loan, वो loan कहाँ से आता है? That is the people's money only. When, for example, Vaishali, Kijla, Deepika, Ambika, Manoj, Mahima, they all deposited a together amount of rupees, 10 lakh rupees. And then we have Pankaj, who needed a loan for his NLU's academic fees and whatever it is. So he needed an amount of 8 lakh rupees. So he will go to the HDFC bank and ask for 8 lakh rupees loan based on the income and all criteria. The loan will be, education loan will be given to Pankaj. Now that 8 lakh amount will be coming from where, guys? No one is going to give the bank up. Manager अपना पैसा तो नहीं देता है ना. The amount of Vaishali, Kijla, Deepika, Mahima, Manoj and Ambika, that they had deposited an amount of 10 lakh altogether, out of which that 8 lakh will be given to Pankaj. Around 50,000 will be going as a cash reserve ratio, and the other 50,000, 1 lakh, whatever amount it is, it will be kept by the bank in the form of the security, that is the gold, that is the liquidity asset, guys, that is compulsory. So every financial institution have to maintain a certain quantity of liquidity asset with themselves. At any time of the year they will be asked that show your liquidity asset. They will be showing that Vaishali Prakash has deposited 1,000 rupees. Out of the 1,000 rupees, I have kept 200 as the cash reserve ratio. 100 I have deposited in the gold, in the government security. This is my liquid asset, and the other 800 or 700 which was left of Vaishali Prakash, I have given as a loan to Kijla. This is the statutory liquidity ratio. This is the cash reserve ratio, guys. Cash reserve ratio is the amount of deposit, and statutory liquidity is, as the name suggests, liquid asset. The bank will be investing in the gold, that is the government security. The remaining it will be giving as a loan to the common citizen, whether it is home loan, personal loan, car loan, education loan, whatever it is. Okay. Moving to the next slide, guys. Coming to the all the important highlights of the monetary policy 2022. This you will be asked in one question. All this point will be asked directly in one question. Just note it down. There is nothing to explain in this. Whatever has to be explained, I am explaining it. You have to know and remember that the 10th time in a row, the monetary policy committee headed by our present governor, okay, has maintained the status quo. What is the status quo, guys? That the repo rate is at 4% and the reverse repo rate is at 3.35%. So if you would not have understand there in the slide that what is repo rate, you must be thinking अरे ये repo rate क्या होता है. You will be mugging it up and giving the CLAT examination. और अगर थोड़ा सा CLAT D पे पूछ देगा repo rate पे question, then you will be telling that current affair मेरा अच्छा exam नहीं किया. So instead of going in that way, go in another way. Understand repo rate is the rate at which the central bank, that is the RBI, lends the money to the commercial bank, that is 4%. Reverse repo rate is the rate at which the commercial bank lends money to the RBI, that is the central bank, that is 3.35%. Make it a point to write it in your notebook. So for the 10th consecutive time, the MPC headed by the present governor, that is Sasikanta Das, has maintained the status quo. The panel, that is the MPC. What is the quorum, guys? Can anybody tell me in the chat box? Just we have discussed. What is the quorum for the MPC? So the MPC has continued the so-called Ganesh, move to the previous slide. The panel has continued the so-called accommodative stand. What is the accommodative stand, guys? Here, what is the meaning of accommodative stand? During the last 2 years, the central government and the RBI has decided that they will be having a accommodative stand. What is accommodative stand? That they will be giving a lot of money supply in the market so that the economic growth of our country will continue. Go and see in the next point. See, guys, the GDP of our country, it is showing 9.2% in the financial year 2022. Also, you can check that of the World Bank, what it has predicted India's economy to grow. It would not have been possible if the accommodative stance had not been maintained by the RBI and the central government, guys. Accommodative stance means whatever money supply the RBI was doing under the monetary policy committee, monetary policy before the pandemic arrived, it has increased the amount of money supply in under this accommodative stance. I hope I am making it very clear to everybody, guys, those who are present in the meeting. Accommodative stand is where the the RBI has increased the money supply in the market for a better economic growth. If that would not have been done, definitely there will be no demand in the market. As we discussed very beginning, that the people are not buying in the pandemic, the middle class or the below middle class people or the BPL, every people are not buying in this pandemic because of their cut in the salary. Many have been removed from the job. Slowly people are getting back to the normal days. So the government and the RBI has maintained this accommodative stance where it is supplying more money what it was supplying before. It is supplying more money in the market to maintain the economic growth. Is it, when it is clear to everybody? Mention it in the chat box. So the MPC, that is the Monetary Policy Committee, has maintained the repo rate at 4% and the reverse repo rate at 3.35% with the accommodative stance at the same. The RBI has projected the GDP growth 9.2% in financial year 2022 and 7.8% for the financial year 2023. So that is the financial year 2022-2023. We have taking it in other way. It is 9.2 in 2022 and 7.8% for the 2023 based on the all the economic growth that is going according to the pandemic. So these are the 3 points, and one more important point is the cap of the e-voucher has been proposed to be increased from 10,000 to 1 lakh. What is e-voucher, guys? Here, understand it. I hope you must have mentioned all this thing in your notebook because this is a direct question that will be asked in the Clat examination. What is e-voucher, guys? Mention some of the schemes of the central government in which money is given. Anyone? Mention some of the scheme of the central government in which the central government provide money in one way or the other. Very good. Yeah, very good. Not taking much time. I know you all know. You have the Jan Dhan Yojana, you have the Poshan, you have the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, you have the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Credit Card, you have the Shauchalaya Yojana, you have the Ujjwala Yojana, and n number of yojanas are there. Matru Vandana, very good, guys. So all these are those schemes in which the central government has to give the money to the people. For example, if it is a Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, okay, those who are from the rural area, you must know the benefit of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, how much it is proving beneficial. So for the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, if we take an example only, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, for that the central government will be depositing an amount in the account of the directly in the account of that particular beneficiary. That is the provision. That is one way. That another way is that the either the MLA, that is your district MLA or your state government, will be getting the money. They will be giving that money to you. So you can understand we are having a whole corrupt system from the upper level to the lower level. Then every people in between will be taking 10,000. If the central government has sent 2,50,000. By the time it will be getting to the beneficiary, it will be becoming 1 lakh, 1,50,000, whatever it is. Even the municipality, panchayat, even the ward parcel will be taking 10,000 from that. All will be taking all the commission. That is our corrupt system. And finally, that particular beneficiary will be getting 1 lakh, 1,50,000 instead of that 2,50,000. What did the central government decided? That instead of sending it to the state government, to the MLA, they will be sending it directly to your bank account. So we started the account opening of all the people of the rural area. That we know, that time you must knowing that. Now come the e-voucher. What is e-voucher, guys? Instead of sending that money in your bank account also, the money you are given a voucher, guys. That is a e-voucher, in which you are having, till now you were having a voucher consist of 10,000 rupees. You will be going to your nearby bank, depositing the voucher, you will be getting 10,000 rupees. This is the system that the central government has made for all its scheme that we discussed till now. What you mentioned in the chat box, what I mentioned. Okay, so it was 10,000. Now this e-voucher limit has been increased. Not sorry, it is not increased, it has been proposed to increase to 1 lakh. So it has been proposed by the MPC that it should be increased to 1 lakh instead of 10,000. What could be the reason? You could think yourself, and I could think myself. Okay, so there are various reasons for the same. But now the e-voucher limit will be not 10,000, it will be 1 lakh, as it has been proposed by the MPC. That you have to remember. It has not increased yet, it is just proposed. So these are the highlights of the monetary policy 2022. Moving to the next slide. Now we come, this is very important, guys. This is very important. That is, you are having, all you have to know about the RBI. Till now we were discussing the monetary policy. So what is monetary policy? Monetary policy is something which is given by RBI. If we are talking about Chandrayaan 3, definitely we have to know about ISRO. In a similar manner, we have to know the RBI also here, guys. How the history started, the present thing. And then we will be moving to the question. So first, what happened in 1926? The central banking institution. We know that the RBI is the central bank. In 1926, the central banking institution was established in 1926 on the recommendation of the Royal Commission of the Indian Currency. What you, from here you have to remember two things. The recommendation, the committee which recommended the central banking institution was named as Royal Commission of Indian Currency. It recommended in 1926 that there should be a central banking institution, as a result of which a central banking institution was established. 1926, before the India got independence. 1934, what happened? The British enacted the RBI Act. Reserve Bank of India Act was established in 1934, and finally on 1st of April 1935, guys, RBI was established at Calcutta, and then in 1937, finally the headquarters of RBI moved to Mumbai. So you can understand it completely. Very important history. 1926, the central banking institution established on the recommendation of the Royal Commission of Indian Currency. 1934, the British enacted the RBI Act, that is the Reserve Bank of India Act, and then on 1st of April 1935, guys, these two things don't get confused. When people ask on when was RBI established, it is 1st April 1935. The Act is 1934, guys. You must have seen, for example, the Citizenship Amendment Bill. Okay, is the Citizenship Amendment Bill implemented in India, guys? Can anybody tell me? Has it been enforced? 2019 bill I am talking about. The Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019. Has it been enforced? Very good, Ambika. It was passed by the Lok Sabha. Yeah, very good. It was passed by the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha in 2019, but still the Citizenship Amendment Bill has not been enforced. So in 1934, guys, the British enacted the RBI Act, but RBI is established on 1st April 1935. You can see on RBI website. Every year on 1st of April, it is RBI Day. They celebrated RBI Day. So the established RBI is 1st April 1935 in Calcutta. In 1937, the RBI moved to Mumbai, and as of now, it is the only one of the very big institution that is located outside of New Delhi. That is Mumbai. That is RBI is located in Mumbai. It is one of the big institution that is located outside Delhi. Otherwise, you can see everything is located in New Delhi, but it is in Mumbai. Okay, so can anybody tell me Maharashtra, Mumbai and Maharashtra? Mumbai is the capital. Which capital is Mumbai called? Anybody? So this is all about the history of RBI. You have to know it very minutely. This is very important from your class perspective. Coming to the composition of RBI. So RBI is the having a central board. What is Mumbai called, guys? New Delhi is the capital of India. Mumbai. Very good. RBI. Now coming to the RBI. RBI consists of a central board. The central board have a governor, four deputy governor, two finance ministry representative, and then we have the four directors who will be representing the four local zone of RBI, that is Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai and New Delhi, guys. They are representing the four direction, that is north, south, east, west. As you can understand, they are representing the four region of India, that is north, south, east, west. So what you have to remember, the central board consists of a governor, four deputy governor, you have two finance ministry representatives, and then four directors to represent the local headquarter of Mumbai, Kolkata, New Delhi and Chennai. That is the four region, that is your South India, North India, East and West, that is being represented by these four directors. This is the whole composition of RBI. This is a very important point that you must know. The first governor of RBI is Osborne Smith and the first Indian governor is C.D. Deshmukh. Don't confuse, guys. The same thing I have told you in the budget also, that who was the first person to present the budget and who was the first Indian finance minister to present the budget. Same is here. The first governor of RBI, because we have seen in the history the RBI was established in 1934 Act, in 1935 1st April. So the first governor was Osborne Smith. First Indian governor was C.D. Deshmukh, and the only and only the first woman deputy governor. That means we still not have a woman governor in RBI. So we have the deputy governor woman. First woman deputy governor was K.J. Udesi, and the only prime minister to be governor of RBI is our financial man, that is Manmohan Singh. This is not no doubt in that. That definitely he could be only the prime minister who could be a governor of RBI, guys. Yeah, can you show the previous slide once? Previous slide. Yeah. So this is the composition of RBI. That only composition of RBI. Yeah. So this is the composition of RBI. You can, what you have missed you can write. So what I was discussing, that only prime minister that who has become the governor of RBI is Manmohan Singh. You could not forget it anytime, guys. Always remember that he could be only a prime minister who could be sitting there. The first woman deputy governor is K.J. Udeshi. The first Indian governor is C.D. Deshmukh, and the first governor of, yeah, thank you, Aditya. First governor of RBI was Osborne Smith, guys. Okay, these are the important point that you have to remember from the wait, Ganesh, you have to remember from the RBI perspective. So we started with the monetary policy. What is monetary policy? What is this? It consists of? We discussed the important terms. We discussed all the important thing about RBI, how it was established, different act, the history of RBI, and then we move to the first governor, first Indian governor, first woman deputy governor, and only prime minister to be governor is Manmohan Singh. Okay, guys, I hope your notes are ready for your Clat examination 2022-2023. It is very important topic, both of them, for both of you. Now we will be moving to the question part. That is the most important thing. Ganesh, don't show the question. Writing notes is different thing, and practicing the question and getting a good score is different thing. So be very attentive, because whatever was in the last 10 to 15 slide, 20 slide, I guess, that will be asked in the question, but some minute changes has been done. So you have to be very attentive, guys. All of you, I guess, ready? Just write in the chat box that ready. We are ready for the question. Yeah, good. So moving to the first question, guys. Which of the following is not true about Wetlands Day 2022? Very good. I am hoping more number of responses. Yeah. That is the most important thing, Ankit, that you have mentioned. Good, guys. So the day is celebrated for adoption of Convention on Wetland on 2nd February. This is very thing. Theme was Wetland Action for People and Nature. 4 new Ramsar sites. No, guys, 2 new Ramsar sites has been added this year. So they have asked which of the following is not true about Wetland Day 2022. Okay, guys, that is important. National Wildlife Decadal Change Atlas by SAC, that is the Space Application Center, a component of ISRO. Very good, guys. Moving to the next question. Which of the following is not true about wetlands? Yeah, very good. Yeah, Viraj and Ankit, good. So that is very good, guys. So we are having Gujarat has the maximum number in India. I will be checking it once again. Anshita or someone told me. I will be checking it. Don't worry. Okay. As of now, we will be considering Gujarat, and Chilka Lake is the first Ramsar site. India has 49 Ramsar site. United Kingdom has the maximum, followed by Mexico. Okay. Moving to the next question, guys. Which of the following is not true about Monetary Policy Committee? We did it very carefully, guys. Read it carefully, guys. Now you're going in the right direction. 1 and 2. Anshita, read it once again. Shoha, read it once again. Other people, Mahima, Manoj, Deepika, yeah. Mahima, read it once again. Pankaj. Okay. Guys, the same, it was a very easy question. You just did a little mistake. Monetary policy consists of 6 members, guys. How are you mentioning A? Monetary policy consists of 6 members. The question is which of the following is not true about the monetary policy committee? Some of the options suggested me that that they had done true, not true. Read it very carefully. They are required to meet at least 4 times a year, and the quorum of the meet is 4 members. One officer of the bank nominated by board member. That is correct. 2 members are appointed by central government. Guys, I have told you thrice time this thing that out of the 6 members, 3 are from the RBI and 3 are from the central government. Okay, guys, these are the silly mistakes that you do in the Clat examination, and as a result of which the student we are hoping they will be getting in NLU, they are not getting NLU because of this all thing. The correct answer is 2 and 4. 3 members are appointed by central government and they are required to meet 4 times a year, and the quorum of the meet is 4. Guys, is it clear, guys, what mistakes you are doing? Everyone? Okay, good. Move to the question number 4. Which of the following is not true about the monetary policy 2022? Very good. So this is the 5th time in a row that the MPC headed by RBI governor has maintained the status quo. Yeah, this is the 10th time. Very good, Aviraj Ankit. This is the 10th time that in a row that the MPC headed by RBI governor. What is the name of RBI governor, guys? Everyone?
Shaktinath Das.
Yeah, everyone, guys. I want in the chat box, everyone, and also just define repo rate after you are done with Satyakant Das. What is repo rate? Define in the chat box. Correct, Ankit, definition. No need to add new definition. Yeah, the rate at which central bank lends money, guys. Central bank lends money to commercial bank. That is not your repo rate. Rate, the rate at which central bank lends government to commercial bank. That is important. Okay. Okay. Moving to the next question. Which of the following? Yeah, very good, Ambika. Which of the following is not true about RBI? Which of the following is true about RBI? See, I made the same mistake as you all. So the first governor is Osman Smith, first Indian governor is C.D. Deshmukh, first woman deputy governor is K.J. Udvesi, and only prime minister to be governor is Manmohan Singh. Are there more slides, Kanishk? Okay.